The sister of an Australian woman who married an Islamic State fighter says her sister was groomed into travelling to a war zone in Syria where she is now stuck. Krystle Rosse-Emile has revealed to the ABC her sister Kirsty was only 14 years old when she married. Reporter Kason Ho has spoken to Krystle and joins us now live. Hi there, Kason. Who is this family?
Well, Lorna, Krystle Rosse-Emile is an Australian woman who travelled to Syria in 2014 with her husband Nabil Khedmiri. Now, we know Khedmiri went on to become a fighter for the Islamic State terrorist group. And since the Islamic State was defeated in 2019, Kirsty has been stuck in Syria along with her now 2 children. She's part of the cohort of 34 Australian women and children who attempted to leave the Al-Roj refugee camp in northeastern Syria last week and begin their journey to try and return back to Australia, but they were turned around by Syrian authorities. Now, Krystle Rosse-Emile has appealed to the Australian government in the past to be repatriated along with her children, but she's revealed very little, if any, detail about how and why she came to be in Syria. We've spoken to her sister in Australia, Krystle Rosse-Emile, who has shed a bit of light about those details of Kirsty's life in Australia before she went to Syria. And one of the most startling details, Krystle says, is that her sister Kirsty was only 14 years old when she married Nabil Khedmiri. Krystle says that any of her sister's actions in the past, including going to Syria into a war zone, are not her fault because she was so young. Krystle says her sister was groomed and manipulated.
If she was to do that, she was being groomed to do that. If she was to do that. She was a child. When you're a kid, you're influenced by the person you're around. You're a sponge. You follow that person.
Krystle says she hasn't seen or spoken to her sister Kirsty since Kirsty left Australia for Syria more than a decade ago, but she's still appealing to the Australian government to, in her words, show some sympathy and compassion to help her sister and her sister's children return to Australia.